Okay, and we're off. So welcome everybody to episode 3 of Once Upon a Game, where we will be playing story games. And today's story game is House of Reeds. Oops. Okay. Uh, Today's House of Reeds is a story game by a guy named Sam Kabo Ashwell, and he is a Seattle native. I had the pleasure of running into him at a meetup, and this role playing game he made is basically all about a home. It's somewhat like The Quiet Year, because it's going to be all about like the family that lives in the home, and you get to draw and curate the house and kind of chronicle the family as they kind of grow up and grow old, and some people move in, other people leave. Uh, it's kind of a liberal term of family sometimes, and it doesn't have to be realistic. It could be a fantasy family. It's a fun game. But before we get started with that, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce myself. My name's Eric. You can follow me here at Twitch at EricVulgaris, as well as Twitter, same thing. And this play will also be on YouTube at my YouTube channel. And with me, I have Kelsa.
Hello. I'm Kelsa. You can find me at Kelsa on Twitter or Kelsa Delphi on Twitch. I'm pretty cool.
Awesome.
That's
So,
it. That's my whole
yeah.
introduction.
So we're gonna do a one-on-one, or just a two-player story game. Um, so what we're gonna do is the kind of just start setting up the game for House of Reeds. So the first thing that happens is that we start discussing and figuring out our setting. We're gonna describe together, kind of just like the basic general ideas for our setting. So Kelsa, tell me if you think we should be playing in like a real world or like a fantasy kind of world first and foremost.
Hmm. I think fantasy, probably. I'm feeling fantastical.
Okay. Sure. I'm feeling that too,
Or
actually.
also.
What do you?
Okay, cool.
The one time I played this game, I did like a steampunk. So what kind of fantasy are you thinking? You mean like hardcore
Well,
fantasy?
yeah, that would be great. Like, I've got some ideas percolating. Like, like a hardcore, like sword and sorcery kind of fantasy setting. That'd be awesome.
Oh, okay. Kind of like a gray. What's his name in the like Lankmar and like the Gray Mouser, like that kind of style, or more like Conan.
I think probably I did not catch that first reference that you made, so
Oh, okay.
question mark. But probably more magical than Conan,
Okay.
less war-y.
Okay. Okay.
Something like maybe in
Like
the
a
city
like a wizard,
of
like a wizard school, or like a wizard, like an apprentice house kind of thing.
like maybe it's not a wizard's house, but maybe they have wizard friends, or one of the children is an apprentice wizard, something like
Okay.
that.
So are we thinking high fantasy or urban fantasy?
High fantasy for sure.
Okay. 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 Okay, I'm getting it. So something like Dragon Age, like a town in Dragon Age kind of.
Yeah, yeah, like along those lines for sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Got it. Cool. Okay. So now we have a general idea about our setting in terms of like the world. Um, so what's the prevailing ideal of our family unit? So this is going to start kind of describe what our family is going to be kind of like. So is this going to be a house that is a like a genetic family, or is it going to be sort of like a boarding house, or like what kind of thing is it? What are you thinking?
I think more like a genetic family, or um, oh, I had an idea and then it slipped away. like maybe not like an orphanage, but maybe like a kind of house where someone like we have an older person who would take in strays, so to speak. Like,
Well,
you
yeah,
know,
it's. I don't think it's uncommon for houses to like have a room that they rent out to people. To help cover rent and stuff. That
well,
doesn't.
not even that. Like something where um, an older gentleman in my mind's eye, uh, takes and fosters
Like urchins.
in urchins. Yeah,
Okay.
like has 3 or 4 teenage children who, or younger, who knows, who he's fostering
So
for
it's a.
one reason or another.
So it's a foster. So it's more of a foster home.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. That's fine. All right. Cool. I like that idea. So, and we're definitely going with urban. So like urban fantasy Dragon Age foster home for street urchins.
Yes.
Cool, cool. And then I take it then this is going to be sort of like a row house or like a townhouse kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
I figure the old man who owns the place is fairly well off, which is why he takes in these strays. But maybe
Okay.
um,
Well, we can figure
the
out what the more details of the old man when we get to that part.
right,
I'm
right.
excited too. And then the last question for our setting is the climate, and I assume we're just going to do normal climate. You know, just
Yeah,
spring,
yeah,
summer,
just
fall,
normal.
winter. Nothing Game of Thrones crazy, just your general climate.
Yeah.
And we're gonna use the normal calendar and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to deal with anything like that, right?
Beginning in spring, ending in winter. Yeah,
Yeah, or
that's
like
fine with
having
me.
random names for months or whatever. No, we're just gonna use like the Julian calendar.
There are random names for months that they would use, but
Yeah,
we're just gonna
yeah,
skip that part.
yeah, exactly. We're just gonna, if they speak Elvish, we're not going to speak Elvish, right? So yeah, or whatever. So that's great.
Exactly.
Cool. So uh, re- strange person in Dragon Age foster home ish for street urchins. Um, so, what kind of flavor cards are we looking at? So, this game is interesting because at the top of the screen, there's 13 mandatory cards, and then Kelsa and I get to choose on 3 additional cards that get to get put in called flavor cards. And I'm gonna bring over the box over here to the screen. So these are the rules, and the cards that we have to choose from are Faith, Triumph, Eros, Ritual, Hierarchy, Violence, Nature, Community, yada yada. I think Kelsa has a copy of the rules as well. It just goes on here. I think there's about 21 or so.
Something like that. Yeah, I have a copy as well. I think, especially in a halfway house, I think food is going to be important. You've got
Oh yeah,
growing teenagers, so I'm voting for food for sure.
uh, agreed. I think we're each gonna get one, and then we're gonna choose together the last one. So I'm adding food to the list. Normally you play this game with cards, but since we're playing it online, we're just gonna do a die roll. Um, I think I want if we're doing that. Um, um, craft. I think craft would be interesting. What do you think?
Hmm. Yes,
Uh,
I like that. Definitely.
diversity of skills. So craft,
I can see that being very interesting.
and then the last one. Um,
Oh, there's so many good ones here.
lies and disappointment jump out at me.
I
Something
was
like
also
that.
looking at
Or
Aspire.
aspire, like a positive way. Yeah, totally. Okay.
My initial reaction was lies, so you mentioned that as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would definitely tie into the flavor of the kind of foster home that we're the idea of a foster home. I think that would definitely fit that flavor of that.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do lies as the last one. Boom. Okay. Our quote unquote deck is complete. The next thing to do is to, I believe, build rooms. Um, so we're gonna go around the table, and each of us we're gonna build a room. So since it's a two-player game, and we don't want just two rooms, we're gonna go back and forth and each create two rooms. Um, so, Kelsa, I'm gonna let you get first draw. So this is gonna be a room in our house. Um, we just described it's a townhouse in some urban fantasy city.
So it's hard for me to draw and talk at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I apologize for that.
That's fine.
I'm making the dining room because that is going to be a very important room in the house.
Ah, okay. So, when you're drawing, you describe what the room's for, and then you start including some of the big details, such as, I guess, the dining room table or whatever, however we eat, and then possibly things like smaller furniture and windows and doors and that kind of stuff. There's some sweet chairs.
Man, I wish this was easier.
Yeah, no. Could possibly freehand it some more.
You gotta be kidding me. I mean, did you see those chairs?
Yeah, those chairs are excellent. So what's that? Is that a big, huge, what do you call it? Like open entrance?
Yes. A
Okay.
long window and
Oh, it's a
two
window.
doors.
It's a window. Okay.
That's a window.
Okay. Cool. Um.
There's actually three doors. I need to draw the third door. Hold on.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'm gonna start
Or
building.
copy paste the third door.
Nice. I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to create the basement, or at least one room of the basement. I'm gonna call it the storage cellar. And those are the stairs. And in this room are dozens and dozens of various boxes. Um, all unmarked, or they maybe were once marked but are no longer. as well as it looks to be great works of art, or it's like old art works of art that are currently like just covered in those sort of like cloth kind of protection things, like busks or small statues. So they have like covering on them. Okay, it's back to you.
Okay, great. Um,
Oh,
I just
actually,
lost one of my chairs.
one last thing. I'm gonna actually have a door in this room. It's a small door that's always locked. It's too small to be a
Creepy.
normal door. It's like the size of a Hobbit door.
Double creepy. All right, I'm going to draw the parlor. This is the um uh, actually no. I'm going to draw the the study. There let me draw it here. Okay, so it's kind of a circular room, and it is actually where the um, the kids would do their homework or study or so forth.
Oh, okay. Like study hall.
So there's desks along the outer walls and some doors. Let me copy pasta the doors.
Yeah.
Finish drawing that. You can, however you like, on the next room.
No, I want to listen to. I want to get an idea.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna start labeling the rooms.
I'm pretty sure that's cheating.
We did it in the game we played together, so I'm just gonna do that again. And what do you call the tower like room? Is it study room or
The
the
study room or
library
the den. Or the library. Well, let's go with library.
the study, like an old
The
school study?
study, yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
great.
And there's like a big rug on the middle of the floor.
Oh yeah.
Chairs are blue, I decided.
What's blue?
Chairs,
Oh,
just
chairs,
in
chairs.
general.
Oh, okay, I see. So they're desks.
No, that's not right. Okay, there we go. Um, hmm. There are no windows in this room either.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's it. Desks along the corners of the round room, and doors at the cardinal directions.
I mean, it's a library. It's a study. So there's no books or anything in it. You have to bring in your own books.
Hmm. All right, that's a good point. Yeah, each desk has like a little flanking bookshelf. I guess I can draw that on there too. There we go. Those are bookshelves now.
Bookshelves. All right. The last room, I'm going to do. I'm torn. One of them, I had one idea. I thought I was going to do the entrance to the house and do like the foyer, but now I'm starting to think about doing like a rooftop like deck. Like people, they sneak out to the roof and hang out.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. That sounds fun. Um, oh yeah, I'm totally doing that because I know exactly what I'm doing. Um, let's get make squares. Um, so like this is a bird's eye view of the roof. Um, it's partially inside and partially outside. Um, so to get into it, there is a ladder. Oh, oops. Just do that. And then little brown ladder. That's how you get up to it. There's a little door to the outside to the patio. And on the patio is a humongous telescope.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a telescope. That's about as good as it's gonna get.
Looks good to me. It's about as good as my chairs.
Freehand, roll 20 freehand, not the best. Or roll 20 freehand with my art skills, not the best. So that's a chair, and there's probably like a banister or something going around the whole thing, so none of the kids fall off. But yeah, so it's like a little observation thing. All right. Um, that's let me just label that as the roof. Okay, so there's our 4 rooms. We might have the opportunity to build more rooms as the game progresses, depending on what cards we draw. Decide what the view shed is like now. So now we describe what the doors and windows and exterior look out into.
Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna start with the study, and each of the doors off of the study is literally the center of the house, and each of the doors lead to a different section.
Okay, to a different room. Sure.
Yeah, like to a different to like not direct like one of the I think one of the doors from the study leads to the dining room, but the rest of them lead to like the hallway where the bedrooms are. Yeah, let me how do
Sure.
labels work?
You don't have to label them. I think you just have to write just a general idea of what they look out into. If you just want to say other rooms, unless you know like for sure where they're going, that would
I
be
think
fine.
we only have like one definitely goes to the dining room and one leads to a hall where there's bedrooms, and I think other rooms are generic for the other two.
Okay, cool. Um, the roof's pretty self-explanatory. It looks out into the night, as well as nearby, just the city. Awesome.
And I think the basement, I can label things for your room, right? Or should I stick to the dining room?
No, you can label that stuff, but you should probably just label the dining room because my basement doesn't really do anything. The door that's never been used is unknown. It doesn't. I don't know where it leads.
Right, but I was gonna say where the stairs up from the basement led out from,
Oh yeah. Um,
or two,
I don't know.
unless you had a specific idea for that.
No, just a hallway probably.
I was thinking it was actually the kitchen.
Oh, cool. Okay. Put the kitchen. Just write kitchen above it.
Done.
Awesome. Okay. So then, once we're done this, the next part is to actually create characters, and then our setup is complete, and we begin play.
What about the dining room? Did you have any ideas of where that was headed,
Oh,
or where that
um,
looked out over with the big window?
I assume
Because
the
one of
city
those.
streets.
Okay,
I don't know. What do you?
so
What were you thinking?
well, if it's city streets, I mean, are we on this? Is that would that put the dining room on the second story? Otherwise, it would probably like face a yard,
Oh, we have a yard in the city.
or an alley,
Yeah, an alley.
or the side of another building.
God. Um,
There's a lot of choices.
I was thinking of it in my mind's eye. It could be the first or second floor facing out to like the street. That's what I was thinking. It wouldn't be able to face unless it's in the back of the house. Then it might be facing an alley.
Well, we can have it face the street. That's fine, and it doesn't necessarily have to have like a yard as a townhouse or even a fence or anything. So
Yeah.
it could just be right along the front of the
Yeah.
street. So
I
yeah,
pictured I
totally.
pictured this house like a crooked little row house.
Okay. And this door over here leads to the kitchen. The other two lead somewhere in the house. It's not super important. One of them's
Yeah.
to the study. But which
Yeah.
one?
That's fine.
Eh.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So, the next part is the creating characters.
Okay.
So,
Um,
we're gonna once again you're gonna lead the way here, creating a character. When you create a character, all you have to do is give them a name, an age, and a brief little description and summary of who they are, as well as maybe like declare, just kind of like declare how they might relate to other family members.
well, the obvious one is going to be the old man who actually owns this house.
Yeah.
Um, I can't help myself. His name is Old Man Jenkins.
Okay.
It would help if they'd cooperate with me.
Um, awesome. Yeah, I know. Roll 20's text things kind of go crazy. So, Old Man Jenkins, I'm gonna make a foster kid. Oh my god, I'm butchering the name. Bartholomew Bart. And he is 16. Um, he's so Bartholomew Bart is a 16-year-old. He's the oldest of the children. Um, he works at a bakery.
All right, sounds good. Now, does he only take in boys, or would he have a foster girl as well? What do you think?
We have that's something we can decide on. I want girls in this as well, actually.
Okay. Then I think I will make the youngest
Um,
child.
works at a bakery. Um,
Oh, sorry, you're
hold
still
on.
going.
No, I just came up. I'm sorry. I think I came up with something. I think I kind of want to. How do you feel about having like gender issues in a game? Because
I'm okay
if you
exploring
don't,
that.
okay, yeah. Because if you're not okay, or if it comes up later, we always do the X rule. So if there's ever something that's uncomfortable, we just don't want to explore it. We can exit out and it'll be fine. And you don't have to explain. Um, I like the idea that Bartholomew is questioning, or just not by curious, but just sort of like not sure who he is. Maybe I'll just put queer
That's fair.
for now. He's not. He's sure he's not supposed to be in. Like he doesn't believe that he doesn't want to be a knight. He doesn't ascribe to just the masculine fantasy things. But he's not sure where he fits in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's to you.
All right, I'm gonna create Sparrow. That's not her real name, but she doesn't remember her real name. She's 6
Okay.
and a little world weary. She's the youngest, but also been in the house the shortest amount of time.
Mm.
And um, she's seen some things.
That makes sense.
She doesn't work anywhere because she's 6. Maybe she did, but not anymore.
Yeah. I'm gonna make. I'm thinking about actually having all Jenkins have. I don't know. Can Jenkins have a wife? Are you cool with that?
Sure, sure.
I like the idea of having a like a motherly figure. And just for the record, these are not the only characters that can show up in the game. There will be arrivals and departures of family members that we'll explore, as well as just having sort of like non-player people come in and out of the game as we see fit. But this is just for the interest and focus of the game. This is our quote unquote family. So, her name is going to be Marta. Um, yeah, they're married. Marta Jenkins. Okay, so Marta Jenkins is 39 years old. She's sort of like the matronly caretaker for the children, like their surrogate, not surrogate mother. I don't know what you call it, just the mother that steps in. Maybe it is surrogate, I don't know. She's a voracious book reader as well as a master cook.
Awesome.
Awesome. So our characters are created, and now we can finally begin play. So what's going to happen is, Kelsa, you and I were going to switch off creating scenes that are created based off the prompts of a die roll slash card draw that we're simulating. We're going to do what the card says, and we're going to create a scene, give it a time of the year, follow the rules of the card that says, update a room or something like that or whatever. And then once we do that back and forth, then it's going to be a full year, and then everyone ages up 1 year, and we're just gonna play till there's a suitable ending.
Sounds good. So I guess I roll a d16.
Yes.
5. Tradition.
Tradition
Read the
says,
card out.
yeah.
Show how the family members are shaped by the past. Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna say that this is a scene in the dining room,
Okay.
and there's the thing that's different about the room is the season. Sorry, I guess we should start with that. No, we'll start with different first. So the thing that's different about the room is that they're in the empty space
Mm-hmm.
beside the table. There is a another small table set up, kind of up against the window because it's a bit of a thoroughfare there. So there's a small table set up there temporarily, and it's kind of like a sideboard, you might say. It has a variety of baked goods set up on it, very, very neatly displayed, because this is the winter time, and this is the traditional uh, thank you for surviving the winter feast sort of deal. And in this particular household, Martha Jenkins uh, bakes a lot of cookies, and actually, she's an expert chef. and she actually has created subtleties, which are,
Ooh.
um, you know, confections made out of spun sugar or auger or uh, marzipan to be shaped into a variety of um, uh, festive shapes, um, celebrating things like the uh, the renewal of the sun. So there are sun cookies and the and snowflakes made out of spun sugar and just a whole variety of things. Um, and also in the scene, so she is 39. Also in the scene is Sparrow and Bartholomew Bart. Old Man Jenkins is not there, but also here is a former fosteree. She's 20 now, but she still comes back to celebrate the holiday dinners with
Mm.
her family. Um,
What's her
and
name?
her name is Emily. Emily. And so Emily is sitting at the table trying to show Sparrow how to frost a cookie. Um, and
Ooh.
they're both absolutely covered in frosting, while Bartholomew and Martha Jenkins are Marta are very carefully like setting out to display the subtleties that they had made together. And she compliments Bartholomew on how well he's been doing, and that the time he's been spent working at that bakery has certainly served him well, and
Oh.
that once his apprenticeship is done, he should have no problem becoming a journeyman baker, um, given his his skills here. And and then Sparrow uses the pastry bag that's full of frosting and like squeezes it too hard, and like frosting spirals up into the air and then like lands in a splurt on uh, the table that they're
Oh.
setting everything up on, and everyone laughs as they clean it up. But you can see a dark look pass over Bartholomew's face as he glances over at Sparrow because she ruined one of his best pieces.
Oh
And then
no.
we fade out.
Absolutely. No, that's perfect. Are you sure you never played this game before?
I literally had not even seen the rules until half an hour before we started.
Yep. No, that's exactly. Wow. So what I did was like I went ahead and marked at the top that we drew the tradition card. I just put 3 asterisks there, and so I'm gonna re-roll. And in case I get a 5 or whatever, I'll just roll again.
That works.
Because there are some cards that say like reshuffle the deck and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
So rolling a 16. I got an 11. Conflict. Conflict says show how the needs and desires of family members are at odds. Okay. This scene will be in the basement. Um, it is. It's the holiday season in the winter, kind of like how it was before. Um, this is basically the fantasy analog of Christmas Eve, when p- uh, parents will hide presents, and then in the morning or whatever, they like present them, and so the kids know this, And so Sparrow and is caught by Bartholomew Bart um, in the basement, rummaging around, looking for um, looking for the Christmas presents, if you will. And Sparrow is kind of like stacking up boxes in like a precarious way. Just kind of like rushing around, like, oh, is it behind this? Is it behind that? And Bartholomew catches her and shouts like, "What are you doing?" And she kind of freezes, and she when she freezes and kind of backs up from her search, she bumps into one of those statues and breaks it. And when it breaks, uh, Bartholomew like rushes down and is like, "Are you all right?" But Sparrow kind of like freaks out and gets angry at Bart for blaming him for this mess, and kind of just like pushes him like into this like the sculpture pieces and stuff, and just kind of like runs up to back up into the kitchen, kind of, you know, the camera might show that she has like some tears on her face. And
Yeah. All right.
so I guess the conflict was Bartholomew's trying to look out and keep the kids in order, and Sparrow's gonna want presents. So, and she broke the statue. So I'm just gonna draw a red thing through it, cause that's easy. Bloop. Done.
Dead. So are we gonna go around twice before the next year since there's only two of us?
Yeah. So you're gonna go again, then I'm gonna go again, and then it's the next year.
Okay, cool. Let's roll. 6. Ooh, arrival. Hmm. Okay. Ooh. Oh. Oh, this is a terrible idea. I love it. Okay. Um, where would this take place? All right, it's gonna be in the study. And hmm. Um, Sparrow is there doing her homework, but Bartholomew is at the bakery where he works when Old Man Jenkins walks in holding the hand of a tall, skinny child of indeterminate gender, probably about 6 or 10 years old. They have medium length hair that's very dirty and ratty. This is probably probably late spring, and Old Man Jenkins comes into the study and says, "Oh, Sparrow, I'm so glad you're here. I wanted to introduce you to a new member of the family. This is Robin." And he like thinks about it for a second and like kind of chuckles to himself as he realizes that they both have bird names. And because I just realized that I did that like after I said it. Um, and he says, Robin's had a hard time, just like you have, Sparrow. I want you to be nice, show him around, and I'll come and help you with your homework in a little bit. And then, um, and he leaves, and Sparrow looks narrow eyed at Robin
Mm.
and then looks at her homework and realizes that she's can get out of doing her homework. And it's just like, copying letters, something pretty simple that you would give to a 6-year-old to do.
Sure.
And, you know, um, and she says, I know. Well, let me show you these books. And then she goes over across to one of the other desks, and on one of the shelves of Bartholomew's shelves, she moves around some books and finds uh, some picture books that are a little bit risque that
Mm.
Bartholomew had hidden, and she starts showing them to Robin and saying, "We're not supposed to look at these." And so, of course, she shows them off.
Oh, of course. And is that where we fade?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Um, I think that's probably a good time for a quick little break because we're getting into about our first hour, uh, the closing of our first hour. So hang on tight. We'll be back in about you know 3 to 5 minutes. So stay tuned. Thanks.